Partisanship and gridlock grinding progress to a halt. Congressional approval at an all-time low. The American people dissatisfied with the direction that the country is taking. More people calling themselves politically independent than ever before. But incumbents are still winning without fear of defeat. Perhaps what Congress needs is a new generation to shake up Washington into a new way of doing business. But is there anybody out there who's willing to step up?
And so today I'm very proud to announce that I'm going to be seeking your support as a candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives from our 10th District of Pennsylvania. America deserves better than politicians in Washington who care more about keeping their jobs than doing them and solving these problems. You deserve better, we deserve better, and together with your support, we can do better. Thank you very much.
That is Nick Troiano, and at only 24 years old, he is running for Pennsylvania's 10th congressional seat as an independent candidate. And before all you constitutional experts out there on Twitter tell me, he turns the legal minimum age of 25 in June.
Wow.
And already he started a small business, run a nonprofit, and now he is looking to upend the status quo in Washington. And Nick joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for running. It takes a lot of courage to do.
Well, thanks for having me here. It's been a wild ride so far, and we're looking forward to November.
Excellent. So why do this? I mean, I'm glad you are, but it's an uphill battle, especially as an independent candidate not backed by either party. If you did win, you'd be one of 435 members, again, without a party sort of helping you along and supporting you and giving you an instant platform. And millennials are much less likely to sort of engage themselves in government in this way. They've sort of thrown their hands up at the political system. So why are you running?
Well, I feel a real urgency of the moment. Our country faces a range of long-term sustainability issues that aren't being addressed because of the partisan gridlock and special interest corruption in Washington. And so I thought, why wait 20 years to get involved if I think I can make a positive impact and contribution now? And so that's why I decided to run. And I hope that my candidacy this year will inspire a lot more independent young people to run in the future, to really shake up a political system that is failing our future.
So you're hoping that you're like the start of a wave.
That's right.
You know, Nick, I've known you for a long time. Luke Russert here in Washington, D.C. I remember visiting you at your house in Georgetown when you were trying to get Dave Walker into the presidential debates to talk about fiscal issues. So you're certainly someone who's passionate going back to when you were just a teenager. I got to ask you, how have you been received on the campaign trail? I would imagine folks like a breath of fresh air, a 24-year-old kid with some ideas.
I do think that's how people are perceiving it. I was at the polls all day on Tuesday, which was Pennsylvania's primary election, and about 9 out of 10 people who came out stopped to sign my petition to help add my name to the general election ballot. Because although there are 3 candidates in the race, the voters only have 2 choices. It's the status quo of politics as usual, or another option, someone who can represent the people rather than the party or their campaign contributors. And so I think the people of the 10th District have a unique opportunity this year to really send a shockwave to Washington that this isn't going to stand anymore.
I wonder if you and your buddy Luke were teenagers at the same time, but that's a question for the Google.
Hey, old man Tory over there, the only guy over 40.
Yeah, that's your
Nick is making you look old there, Luke.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your life, Luke? Why are you running for Congress? That's right.
Denny's dinner's coming up, Tory.
All right. But we said before the segment that you were a Republican until recently, and the shutdown sort of broke your heart and said, I can't be with this party anymore. They are moving too far to the right. And a lot of people are feeling like that. And I applaud you for moving on that feeling. But then why not join the Democratic Party? What is keeping you from going blue?
Well, as an independent, like a majority of young people and 42% of all Americans nowadays, I happen to agree with Democrats on some things, and I happen to agree with Republicans on other things. Right now, there isn't a party.
It is possible. It is possible.
There isn't a party right now of both fiscal and environmental sustainability, for example. You know, Republicans aren't acknowledging the real threat to our climate. Democrats aren't acknowledging the real threat that growing entitlement programs pose to our budget. And so running as independent, I think, gives me an opportunity to identify the best ideas from across the spectrum to address our toughest challenges.
Yeah. Nick, congratulations to you. I think what you're doing is fabulous and exactly what the system needs. Obviously, it's an uphill battle, but you represent where so many young people are at. I think, including myself, you're actually kind of giving me the bug to do the same thing.
You should.
Frustrated Republicans that,
maybe,
we'll see. Frustrated Republicans that have nowhere else to go. We'll see, Luke. We'll see.
Cut his mic off.
But no, 50% now millennials identify as an independent. What is your goal in doing this? Is it to win? I mean, I hope it's obviously to win, but is it also to send a message to Republicans saying, if you don't get your act together, you're going to lose a huge wave of young Republicans that you need to win?
That's right. I think our political system needs a real shock to it. And in the past, when that has come from outside of our two parties, one party is going to respond. And I'd like to see how that plays out in future election cycles. But I'm inspired by the candidacy of Ross Perot in the 90s when he ran as an independent. He got 20% of the vote. That was using a P.O. box and an 800 number. That was before the age of social media. And was able to catalyze, I think, getting a balanced budget done. So I think independents can have a real big impact even if they don't win. But I think I can win, and I am running to win this year. 76% of voters in my district are open to supporting an independent like me, and I think we can pull it off.
Who would you have voted for president in 2012 and 2008?
Who did I vote for?
Who did you, or who would you have in 2008?
Well, I worked for an organization called Americans Elect in 2012, which was trying to build a platform for a third ticket nominated by the people online. So I would have liked to see that happen.
Well, Nick, congratulations to you for running. I will make a little pitch for the Democratic Party. I will say there are plenty of people who are, working on entitlement reform. I'm not where you are on those issues, but the president proposed reforms, including raising revenue, but also cuts. So don't forget about the Democratic Party.
Back on the chain CPI. That was disappointing this year.
After he didn't get any support from Republicans. All right, we wish you good luck on your campaign. Thank you for coming in.